The air in the dimly lit bar was thick with the scent of stale drinks and forgotten dreams. Wyan, drinking a glass of drink, watched the rain lash against the windowpane. The rhythmic drumming of the water against the glass mirrored the frantic beat of her heart. It had been one of those nights, the kind where you feel a sudden, inexplicable pull towards the unknown, a desire for something, anything to break the monotony of your life. She glanced around the room, her eyes settling on a man sitting alone at the far end of the bar. His eyes were the color of the storm outside, and his smile could melt glaciers. He caught her gaze and smiled, an inviting gesture that sent a shiver down her spine. She hesitated for a moment before making her way over to him. "Is this seat taken?" she asked, her voice barely audible over the clinking glasses and murmured conversations. "Not at all," he replied, his smile widening. "I'm Jimin." "Wyan," she said, sitting down beside him. "Nice to meet you, Jimin." They began talking, their words stumbling over each other in a symphony of shared laughter and whispered secrets. He was a writer, just like her, a traveler, a dreamer. They discussed everything from their favorite books to their most cherished memories, losing track of time as the night deepened. "I've never met anyone like you," Wyan confessed, her cheeks flushed from the drink and his captivating presence. "Likewise," Jimin replied, his gaze intense. "It's like we've known each other forever." Before they knew it, they found themselves entangled in a whirlwind of stolen and whispered promises, there, moving in a dance of shared longing. Finally, the sun began to peek through the curtains, casting long shadows across the room. Wyan woke to find herself alone. The scent of Jimin's cologne and the faint warmth on the sheets were the only testaments to the night before. She sat up, her mind swirling with confusion and longing. Wyan couldn't shake the vividness of the dream. It had left her breathless, her senses reeling. She could still feel the phantom of his hand on her back, of his breath against her. It wasn't until she went to work that the dream's strangeness started to unravel. The coffee shop was bustling with the usual morning rush, the smell of freshly brewed coffee and cinnamon rolls filling the air. She was preparing a latte for a regular, saw a man with a familiar warm smile when it her. It was him, the man in the dream. "Jimin?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. He smiled, his eyes crinkling at the corners. You know me? I think so. You're the writer, right? The one who writes the... She trailed off, her mind struggling to catch up with the reality of the situation. The one who writes the Drive column. He finished the sentence, his smile widening. It's nice to finally meet a reader. Ryan was speechless. How could a dream, a figment of her imagination, be so vivid, so real? Can we talk sometime? She asked, her voice trembling with curiosity and fear. Jimin looked intrigued. Of course, how about we meet by the Han River after my shift? As days turned into weeks, Ryan found herself drawn to Jimin. His words, both in his column and in their casual conversations, her soul. His stories painted pictures in her mind, conjuring up emotions she had forgotten she possessed. They walked by the river, sharing silent moments of companionship, their laughter echoing through the stillness. Every stolen glance, every casual, was like a confirmation of the dream she'd had. You're different, Jimin said one evening as they sat on a bench, watching the sunset over the water. How so? Ryan asked, turning to face him. I don't know, he replied, his eyes reflecting the golden hues of the sunset. It's like you understand me in a way no one else does. Ryan felt a warmth spread through her chest. I feel the same way. But she couldn't shake the feeling of a missing piece, a puzzle with a vital element left out. Jimin, the man in her dream, the man she'd felt such an incredible connection with, was somehow different. He wasn't the same Jimin she'd met at the bar, the one who'd awakened emotions she never knew she had. One rainy afternoon, they found themselves talking about their dreams. Jimin, his eyes reflecting the grayness of the sky, admitted he rarely dreamt. Ryan, emboldened by the trust they had built, confessed about the dream she'd had, the one where she'd met him, the one which had set her heart ablaze. It sounds crazy, but it felt so real, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Jimin's expression flickered, the familiar warmth replaced by a fleeting, almost painful look of sadness. It's a strange dream, Ryan, he said, his voice a low murmur. A dream I've had too. Her heart sank, a cold dread settling in her stomach. You have? She whispered, her voice betraying a tremor she couldn't control. He nodded, a ghost of a smile playing on his. The same dream, the same night, every detail, every feeling, exactly the same. They sat in silence, the rain drumming, a steady rhythm against the window pane, the shared dream hanging heavy in the air between them. The realization hit Ryan like a in the gut. This wasn't a dream come true. It was a dream shared, a connection formed in a realm beyond reality. It was a dream, a beautiful, fleeting, impossible dream. As they stood at the door, their hands brushing, Ryan knew this movement was crucial. The dream had been a shared experience, a connection that had felt so real. She couldn't let go of something so profound without understanding its significance. She smiled, a mixture of hope and in her eyes. Jimin, do you believe that dreams can be a glimpse of something deeper? He looked at her, his expression thoughtful. I don't know, Ryan, but I do know that I have never felt anything as real as the connection we had in that dream. Her heart pounded in her chest. Maybe the dream was a way of showing us something we were too afraid to see in reality. Jimin stepped closer, his hand gently cupping her face. Do you think we can make that dream a reality? Ryan's eyes shimmered with unshed tears. I think we can try. He leaned in, his meeting hers in a that was not a goodbye, but a promise. Was soft, filled with the possibility of everything they could become together. As they pulled away, Jimin rested his forehead against hers. I don't want to lose this, Ryan. I don't want to lose you, he murmured. You won't, she whispered back, her fingers intertwining with his. We have a chance to create something beautiful, Jimin. Let's not waste it. They stood there, holding each other, the rain outside a gentle reminder of the night they first connected. The dream had brought them together, but it was their decision to stay that would make it real. As they walked away from the door hand in hand, Ryan felt a sense of peace and excitement wash over her. The dream had been a beginning, catalyst for something extraordinary. And now they had the chance to turn that dream into their reality together. Their journey was just beginning, and with each step, they knew that the bond they shared was more than a fleeting fantasy. It was the start of a love story that would be written in the moments they would create side by side.